Coming up on Look Today, well, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik took part in the House Permanent Select Committee intelligence hearings. I've got details. And residents of South Glens Falls voted today. More on that coming up. And Coles Woodwind in Saratoga will participate in Horns for Haiti. I've got those details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with Lois Celeste. She's the Executive Director, Saratoga Senior Center, and we're joined by Sharon Cudahy. She's an aquatic physical therapist specialist for the Regional Therapy Center at Saratoga Hospital. They're here to discuss the benefits of aquatic therapy in another edition of Look at Seniors. I also sit down with Chuck Vasconyan. He's the founder of the Rockman Record Club, and he's here to talk about the late, great Chuck Berry. And we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik took part in a House Permanent Select Committee intelligence hearing on the investigation into Russian interference in November's election. Well, the Congresswoman was appointed to the Intelligence Committee back in January. Well, one of the witnesses testifying before her and the committee was none other than James Comey, the director of the FBI.
So since in your opening statement you confirmed that there is a counterintelligence investigation currently open, and you also referenced that it started in July, when did you notify the DNI, the White House, or senior congressional leadership?
It's a good question. Congressional leadership, sometime recently, they were briefed on the nature of the investigation in some detail, as I said. Obviously, the Department of Justice has been aware of it all along. The DNI, I don't know what the DNI's knowledge of it was because we didn't have a DNI until Mr. Coates took office and I briefed him his first morning.
That was a good question. Now, I know we're the local TV station, but we thought you'd like to see our Congresswoman in action. Now, we got more news concerning Elise Stefanik. A phone conference took place last night in Glens Falls, now where a number of constituents posed questions to the Congresswoman. Stefanik took 16 questions from 21st Congressional District residents. Many were concerned that Medicaid, Medicare is going to be discontinued or cut under the Repeal and Replacement Act of the Affordable Health Care Act. Now, we've contacted some of the residents today to get reactions, and we'll have details on this tomorrow. In other news, residents of South Glens Falls went to the polls today to vote for mayor. Voting took place at the South Glens Falls Village Hall, and stations will be open until 9 p.m. tonight. Now, we want to make you aware of that, but also we want to make you aware that there's some fake news surrounding the candidate Bridget Martin. This is a false Facebook page that was made using her name. Now, because today was the election, we were not able to speak to her, but we want to follow up on this tomorrow, and we'll have some updates. Switching from news to weather. Well, today saw some cooler temperatures this morning, and it was in the mid-40s or so this afternoon. Let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. Right now, as we take a look at our first look forecast, we're going to continue to watch a secondary cold front coming breezing on by. That means over the next couple of evenings, some very cold air will be once again right smack dab across much of the Northeast, and including us here. We're going to see temperatures not only in the teens and 20s overnight, but likely going to see some single digits becoming a little bit more widespread heading over the next couple of evenings. Cold frontal boundary continues to slip on through as we continue on through the daytime tomorrow. Temperatures tonight still cold, and with that front nearby could generate at least a few flurries, but don't expect to see any widespread impact whatsoever. It will even watch mostly clear skies at times. With a low 22 degrees tonight, we'll see see a high in the Glens Falls area, about 28 degrees tomorrow. Will stay chilly. In fact, temperatures kind of dropping throughout the afternoon, thanks in part to those breezy north winds. So that's what we expect as we head out the door tomorrow. We'll see skies clearing back out. Temperatures starting off into the mid-20s. Say as we head out about 6 a.m., maybe 25 to 26, but by 9 a.m. could be pushing back down closer to the 20-degree mark. On top of that, some very breezy conditions, driving wind chills back down to the teens, potentially even single digits. And as we take a look at the extended forecast, we see that 7-degree morning low for the start of Thursday. But then from there, temperatures come back up a bit. We'll see temperatures reaching into the 40s for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll also see some rain chances returning as we head into the weekend. Well, that's it from the Weather Center. Now let's get back to you, Jesse.
Thanks, Brad. All right, back to the news. Well, Cole's Woodwind shop in Saratoga is participating in something called Horns for Haiti. Well, this year, William Cole, the owner of the store, is traveling to Haiti to teach students how to repair brass and woodwind instruments. Now, he believes in the importance of giving back to those less fortunate. He's going to teach these students the skills of repairing the instruments. Well, we spoke to Bill about the origins of this program.
Through St. John's Episcopal Church in Troy, when I had a shop in Waterville, they would quite often bring instruments over to have me repair them so they could bring them to their sister parish in Los Cobos, Haiti. And that's how it all started.
What a wonderful idea. Congratulations, Bill. Up next, I sit down with Lois Celeste. She's the executive director of the Saratoga Senior Center, and we're joined by Sharon Cudahy. She's an aquatic physical therapist specialist for the Regional Therapy Center at Saratoga Hospital. They're here to discuss the benefits of aquatic therapy in another edition of Look at Seniors. Plus, I also sit down with Chuck Vaskanyan. He's the founder of the Rockmont Record Club, and he's here to talk about the late, great Chuck Berry as a fun interview. But first, if you've seen what's happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I've got a couple of lookouts tonight. First one, I want to thank Chuck Vaskanyan and the Rockmont Record Club. In case you don't know what this is, Chuck takes one of the albums that really helped define our culture each month and does an exploration of it. They get inside the tracks and who played what on what tracks and whatever. They're really fascinating. One of them is tonight, Sheer Heart Attack by Queen. And we're going to keep you posted on this. And I also agreed that those of us here at Look Media are going to underwrite the Rockmont Record Club. And the other thing is that, we don't endorse candidates or whatever, but we found it very troubling in South Glens Falls that this fake news Facebook was posted. Now, regardless of who you want to vote for or whatever, we want to try to get more information about this. Let's face it, we're living in an era where fake news is misrepresented or represented as real news, and also a lot of people get blamed for telling the truth, and it's called fake news. Whoa, what a time, right? Okay, but we'll get into that tomorrow as well. All right, tonight on Look TV, it's a Queensbury Town Board meeting. It's a new one. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.